Hello everyone, welcome to the 22-23 sales meeting. Unfortunately, it's digital again this year, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get together again during this year coming up, or at least for next year, we'll do something special together. But for now, enjoy what we pre-recorded for you guys, and yeah, genuinely miss you guys. Hope to see you soon.
Hey, this is DCP. I'm talking to you live from Costa Rica, and I would like to welcome you to this year's virtual sales meeting. I hope you enjoy the line, and I would also like to say thank you for your support over the last couple of years, the last season. It's really appreciated, and let's look into the future, and let's all play together soon. Let's go to snowboarding, and I hope to see you on the slopes.
Hey everyone, I'm Dustin Craven. Welcome to the Yes Virtual Sales Meeting. Thank you for your continued support.
Thank you guys for watching. This is the Yes 22-23 sales meeting video. Unfortunately, we can't be together again this year. We're back online and watching a video. This is going to change hopefully next year, but this year we're again on video. I'm going to show you guys the line this year of what we're bringing into the market, the changes, the differences in the product and in the naming. But first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for your resilience, for the tremendous work that you've done last year and this year to keep Yes being a brand that progresses and that has more and more market share in the snowboard industry. I'd like to thank the owners, Romain, DCP and JP for all the work they've put in with this collection, giving their input in the products that they've been working on, in the designs that they've been commenting on, and sharing also their artists with us. So Yes has been able to make a really good step forward for the 22-23 collection. What I'll be doing today is, first of all, we'll drive you through what's new, what Romain, DCP and JP wanted to bring to the table, what the Unlinked line is going to look like, what the new franchise names are going to be with the new basic franchise. And then we're going to go also a little bit into the marketing with DCP, the brand assets that are available to you guys and that will be available to you guys throughout the year with JP, and also a little bit of the financial outlook of how Yes is doing in the market this time with Romain. So let's talk about our park boards. Our park boards are all twin boards with a mid-bite profile, and some have an asymmetrical mid-bite profile. The first board I want to talk to you about is our Dicey. The Dicey is the entry-level park board. It's a twin board that was designed by Fernando Elvira, that has a very skate orientated design and a very easy to access design. It's a bit softer than the Jackpot and a bit more accessible to your park rat. The next board is the Jackpot. The Jackpot is the same profile as the Dicey, but with a camber and a bit more stiffness and a better base. The design of it is done by Alex Folks, who used the letters of the Yes word to make the yen, the euro and the dollar, and to play a game with the cryptocurrency as the base of the design. It's a true park board for the young park rat, all the way up to the guy who wants to ride competitions and ride the pipe with it. It's a really true twin, perfect for the park board. And for the women, we have the carryover board of the Rival, which is the board that's been developed by Juliette Pelchat and designed by Christelle Le Goff. It's the perfect board for women in the park. Juliette has been riding it for a couple of years now and really likes it. You've seen all the videos that they have in Saas-Fee with her on it. It's a really good board. It's a carryover for this year, so you guys already have all the information about it. And to top our park offer, we have the Greats Unlinked board, which is our asymmetrical mid-bite offer, which is a unique board in its own. It's asymmetrical mid-bite, which allows you to have more power on your heel edge as you get into turn, and it makes an equilibrium between your toe and your heel edge in edge power. So it gives you a real good drive on the slopes. And this year we have a very specific story that we've made a little video about that you'll be able to download or take from the website. but we've used Kalonji as the artist, and he's made a big piece that's been divided into 5 sizes, and that gives you a really good story to talk about that board. And you'll see in every board there's intricate little stories that make the visual really interesting to have. So that's it for the park boards. It's a solid offer. We have a focus on women again this year, and on having boards that are really catered to the more youth and more resort-driven, park-driven riders. Let's get into our resort boards. Those are the boards that want to be used by the most people, and they want to be ridden through the resort and a little bit of POW, and they're really boards that are our most versatile offer. I'd like to start with the basic family. We've modified a bit of our offer by naming the emoticon the woman's basic, and by naming the Funink the first basic, all this to create a franchise name with the basic. We really wanted to have the basic being what the foundation of what we're offering to the consumer. And we've learned that in the shops, most of the times when your shop pro or your shop kid would be taking the board, he'd be saying, this is the basic for men, and for your women's offer, he'd be taking the emoticon and saying it's the women's basic. So it's really to have that name resonate with the Yes brand. So we have the men's basic, which is the basic, who has a very solid black design. And you have the woman's basic that has a more of a white, light-hearted design, and then the kids basic that has a whole theme of a mace and a play on the colors. There's a little video too that you can look at with Guillaume Rousseau, who's explaining the reason and why these boards are all linked to each other with the basic colors and the name. So I invite you guys to check it out. It's either on your catalog as a link or on the website. The next board I want to talk to you about is the Typo. We wanted to give back to the history of Yes and Typo, the Typo being one of the first boards that was derived from the basic. We brought back one of the original wording of Yes, which was Yes Now Board, that made Yes Snowboards, but at first we started with like, yes, now you have it, now you can go snowboarding. And we put that on the board, and we've used the same type of typo that we used back in the day for the base. So it's a really subtle remembering of from where the typo has come and how good it's been all these years. And for the women who want to have a typo-like board but have a more specific need, we've made the Hello, which is the new all-around board for women, and we've used Natasha Zurek as an artist. She used to be one of the most winning riders in the snowboarding industry back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and she was a really good rider, and she's based out of Whistler, and now she's more into holistic art. And so she designed this board for us, and I think it really reflects the holistic part of her, and how the Hello is a good board for everyone to ride. The next board is the Standard. It's a carryover board, so you guys know exactly what it is. It's has the mid-bite profile, Camrock, and it's really your go-to board if you're going to be riding the resort all season. It's one of the consumer's favorites. It has everything. It has a design that is easy to buy. It's non-polarizing. It's a really good board for anyone wanting to spend time in a mountain. After that, we have the Hell Yes, which is again one of our strong designs this year. Somehow our designers and Guillaume Rousseau are inspired by this board, but he took the idea of the duality of the name with Hell Yes and the duality of life and death, and then used it with a very intricate way on the design. So it's a design that has multiple ways of reading it, and has that color highlights that has been asked to us from a lot of people. And it's basically one of the better looking boards in the line every year. Let's talk about the Optimistic. Last year we realized that the Optimistic and the Y were cannibalizing each other, and that we were losing ground on the Optimistic because it had technologies that wasn't visible and you guys told us that if it's not visible, we don't need it. So what we did is we blended the Y and the Optimistic and made a board that has the characteristic of the Optimistic, as in the camber and the good base, but has a bit of the flex of the Y, which is a bit softer than what the Optimistic was. But importantly, it sits at a price that is more affordable for that target consumer who is the guy that likes to put in a carve and wants to ride this resort and have a good time all day on the board. For the design, we used Brian Ray, who has been doing a few designs for Yes in the past years, and we wanted something that the 40-year-old dad was okay to buy and that his wife wouldn't tell him off to have like a too youthful design on his board. So it's kind of using the lines of the Optimistic, but still having a little bit of the cheekiness of a Yes board. So it's a new direction for that board, and we'll see how that works. Let's get into our power offer. Our power offer is everything that we do to ride powder, and us as riders is what we look for the most when we go snowboarding, is to find that powder pouch. We use Mark Kowalchuk for most of the designs because he really embraced what we wanted to show in our board. So all the power boards have this Mark Kowalchuk look and feel. And so if we start with the 420, we were designing that board and wanted it to be a little bit more subtle and wanted to have a design that could last for years because it would be a very strong design. And Mark was already doing some designs for some skate brands with giant krakens or giant squids, and we were like, oh, that could fit really well on the board. So we put a black matte kraken on the board, which is also a little bit of a pun against some of our friends that stole that 420 shape back in the day. And then the next board is the First POW, and there too we're looking at what kids like, and like the manga style and what they want to see under their feet. And we wanted to give a little bit of the Anning story to them, so we've put the Anning pig in there so that it trickles down. The kid sees that when he's a kid, and he'll be influenced to knowing what Anning is afterwards. So it's a bit of a seed we're planting there, but the design is really a tribute to one of Romain's Anning boards from back in the day. And it's one of the best kids powder board. Every September I get hit up by all the dads that want to powder boards for the kids for that one. Next board is our Pick Your Line. Because as you'll see in the Anning presentation, we've revamped the Pick Your Line. This is the original Pick Your Line shape, and it has a very toned down design on it, just because we want it to be an easy access Pick Your Line and have those people who were kind of afraid of buying the current Pick Your Line because the design was too strong. So it's a good way to have the Pick Your Line legacy in the line, and without having to decide on art or not art. So it's your basic Pick Your Line with the tapered underbites and the long nose profile. After that, we have the Hybrid. The Hybrid is a carryover from last year, so it has the Mark Kowalchuk design on it. It has the tapered underbite, the short tail, and the big wide nose. It's the same board as last year, so it's a sure bet for sure. So moving up to our top of the line boards in the POW section, we have the 2020, which is also a carryover. Those boards are really talking pieces on the slope. They're not our bread and butter, but it's really the boards that inspire the evolution or the innovation that we bring into Yes. And those boards are really important for us as the industry talking piece, or even a chairlift talking piece. So the 2020 is a carryover from last year. It features Mark Kowalchuk's design on it, and it has the mid-bite profile and the coreless nose and tail, which makes it one of the best backcountry freestyle boards in our offer. And after that, we've also carried over the 420 powder hull, which fits with the hybrid, the 2020 and the 420 powder hull, have a whole little story together that they're linked with each other by portals of, it goes from the 2020 in the space, the 420 powder hull in the sky, and the hybrid in the forest. And they all link and making it a perfect circle. And so that too is a carryover from a design from Mark Kowalchuk. It has the powder hull nose and powder hull tail, which allows you to wash out the powder from when you're pressing on your tail and keep your nose afloat. So even if there's just one size in this board, it's the perfect powder machine. Any one of you guys who've tried it know how good it is in the big powder field and how versatile it is in the forest. And for everyone that was really happy that there was no chairlifts last year in Europe and that want to keep on doing some split boarding, we have the Opti Split Stick, which is our split boarding offer. It's based off the Optimistic shape. It has a very strong camber on the board, so when you're skiing up, it doesn't fold. We've made a little play with Mark Kowalchuk on the design because, as you know, when you're skinning, you flip the skis from left to right so that your nose don't hook each other. So when you're skinning, the design actually creates something. The clouds on the board make a wolf head, and as you're riding, the board has a design of the pathway down the mountain, the line you want down the mountain. So it's a little bit of a play on that. I hope you'll see the pathway a lot more than you see the wolf, because that means you're riding. So that's it for the powder range. There's a lot of carryovers in the powder line, but we do work really hard on getting innovation there, and we know it's not what we sell the most, but we also know that powder is what we all look for. We're all looking for that clearing in the forest to see that powder field and just be the only track on the mountain. So those boards really ride well. I mean, from the first POW, which is the kid's board, once he's touched powder with that board, he'll never want to ride slope again, all the way to the Opti Split Stick, who is one of the best riding split boards on the market. It might not be the best one to skin up, but once you're riding, you're blowing all the other boards out of the water. So I hope you enjoy the powder line. Now, the pièce de résistance, our unink line, what JP, Romain, DCP and Dustin have been working really hard on this year to bring innovation, to bring new boards, new designs, and a new look on their take on Unink. I mean, as we say, the Unink line has no restrictions, so if they want to do something, we'll find a way to make it happen. I'd like to start with the Romain board, with the basic Romain. He loves the basics, so he wanted to keep the board the way it is, the same as last year. It has a camber, a stiffer board than the basic, and he wanted to keep that story about the whole hypocrisy of the human nature. And with the design that he did with Kalonji, he wanted to show that everyone has a carrot, everyone has something that they look up to or they aspire to, and that drives them to get somewhere. And that can be good stuff, that can be inspiring, and that you can, it makes you become a better person, but it also can be something that is devious and brings you into vice. So he just wanted to show how the human nature needs that carrot. So on the board you have this woman holding a carrot, and underneath you have all these people aspiring, and that carrot can be whatever you're inspired by. So that's for Romain's board. The blue too that you see on all of the three Uninks is because we're in 2023 and North Carolina had a basketball player that was wearing the number 23, and that's the blue of the basketball player. And so it's just a little side note on the story, but that blue is the North Carolina blue. So moving on to the Dustin Craving Unink. Unink was never meant to be just for the three owners. It was meant to be this think tank for anyone who was really into Yes and wanted to make Yes progress. And Dustin is one of our best ambassadors in snowboarding. And then Romain, DCP and JP were like, yeah, we should bring him in and have him get a board. So he asked us to use this designer called Corey Gabbs, and also to have a stiffer, more responsive, and with camber board that was based on the profile of the standard. So that's why it's called a standard Unink. And so it's his first year in the Unink program, and hopefully that he'll be able to evolve in there and bring more ideas and different things to the table, which will keep us progressing with Unink. The next board, we have a few videos about this board, and JP's talking about it, so I invite you guys to look at it because there's a lot there. It's our Worka. So a Worka is a twin board with a bipolar mid-byte, which is a new technology. Bipolar mid-byte is the mid-byte technology where you pull in the waste, but instead of pulling it out the same amount of millimeters as you pull it in, you pull it out at just a little bit less, which gives you a tapered tail with a twin profile. So your board will react like a twin board, but when you land in powder, you'll have your tail sink in a little bit more and the nose float a bit more. So it's a real board for the backcountry freestyle. He's been riding it all last winter and he really likes it. It's his new favorite board, and that's why he wanted to bring it in as an Unink. On the design side, Guillaume Rousseau was working with JP on a concept about when will we have world peace, and the idea was like we'll have world peace when pigs fly. So we decided to make a pig with peace bombs, and there's a lot more in there, and I invite you to look at it on the video where JP talks about it a lot better than I do. Our next board is, last but not least, the new DCP Pick Your Line. So as DCP is a very wholesome person, we asked him what does he want in his board, and he said, I want the universe. I want everything. He wanted coreless, powder hull, sintered, tapered underbite, mid-bite. He wanted the whole shebang. He wanted that board to feature everything. So we talked with Mark Kowalczuk, and he said, let's just put the universe on the board. And so the board is both sides of what, the board design is both sides of what DCP likes, the ocean side and the mountain, with all of the imagery around that. In the middle, you have Mother Earth, and you have the 5 chakras that mean, you know, the crown chakra and all the chakras down the line in the middle. And as for technology, that board has tapered underbite, it has a coreless tail, but it has a nose with a see-through core that makes the nose just a little bit lighter, and it's a very cool effect on the nose. And we've added a few little surprises in there, is because we can make a big semi-translucent nose, we decided we could also do that on the chakras. So when you're riding your board and you bring your nose out, the light will shine through the colors of the chakras, and you'll have little light balls on your board. And so, I mean, DCP talks about it really well in his little video, and there's videos showing how the light goes through, but it's not a technology, it's more of a talking point. So we really hope you enjoy the DCP Pick Your Line, because it's one of the boards that got most of us really excited to see how it rides. So this is it. This is the 22-23 collection, just for you guys to now take and make your own. I want to thank JP, I want to thank Roman, I want to thank David for their dedication and for making all this possible. If it wasn't for them, and 10 years ago, 12 years ago now, they're deciding to make something that is made by snowboarders, for snowboarders, and destined to snowboarders, we wouldn't be there. And I want to thank you guys for your dedication, for being out there in front of the clients, telling the stories, because this year I think we've brought a lot of really cool stories from the greats, with the basics and all of the Unink stories. Those stories are really compelling, and there is a very open ear to them, and I think that we'll come out with people saying, you know, that's the shit I want to ride this winter. And I definitely know that I'm having trouble deciding on what board I want to ride this winter, because that means I can't ride the other board. So it's a bit of a catch-22, but I hope you guys enjoy the collection. I hope we've made it easier for you guys to actually go out and sell. And if there's anything you need, if there's a question, don't hesitate to call me, email me, TikTok me, whatever you have as a communication device. I've got the app. Thank you so much for listening. For those who are asleep, I'm sorry I bored you to death, and I'll speak to you soon, hopefully with a beer and with you guys in front of me instead of a camera.
Honey, you left me hanging. Why did you leave me hanging? I'm such a wasteland. Don't know where I stand. It's not that complicated. I'm not that complicated. Sure, we can be friends. I leave when I can.
DCP is now going to talk to you about our marketing plan for 22-23. He's still in Costa Rica, so he filmed his part remotely. He's been able to travel a little bit to the US and film his video called Perspective, but unfortunately he's not here in Dardani with JP and Romain and myself. So here's DCP talking about our marketing plan.
Hi everyone. I would like to speak marketing with you a little bit. Let me give you a little update. We're very, very happy with the team that we have right now. Our global team is absolutely been killing it throughout the last year. Jérémy Langevin from Quebec built his own snowboard park in his backyard with tow assist. We've seen a couple edits come out of that. It was pretty sweet to see. Dustin Craven has co-produced a movie called Omen.
Oh my God.
As well as Roman DeMarchi and him were filming together in the backcountry of British Columbia mostly, sending it off big features into deep water at our partners Eddy Operation Eagle Pass. Elias Van Hoof, who's from Belgium, has been terrorizing the parks from Lax to now in Meihofen. He was just there at Intertux for the first session of the year, the Verny Invitational. June Ivanov from Russia has been staying in Russia mostly all last season, filming from coast to coast, from Sochi to Kamchatka and then everywhere in between, like Siberia. So we can't wait to see what comes out of that film project. We have Juliette Pelsha, who has been involved in the film Our Fabric, produced by Robin Van Geen, and a bunch of amazing ladies in action sports. We can't wait to see what came out of that as well. Great job, and she's now going to be competing a lot this year and probably coming back into the backcountry to do more sessions like those ones.
Chillin'. How's skate camp? Nice.
You think that would be scary? No?
I mean, the ocean is my biggest teacher in everything that I've learned in my life.
For me, I find the connection to my heritage in the land. That's when I feel most myself and most connected to where I come from.
The attraction to snowboarding for me has always been about the community.
I really want to flip the script on what it means to be a skater and be a part of the community.
That was my main concern, how I was going to be able to snowboard and be a mother at the same time.
When I discovered surfing, the reason I loved it so much was because it didn't have rules, and it didn't have jerseys, and it didn't have winning and losing.
There's something really great about being out in the mountains, and I think I wanted the education that matched doing that.
Because if it's fun, then you're doing something right. I feel like we're all kind of in this area where we want to be saying something. We don't really know how.
I was taught art's black and white, it's modern, it's in a city, it's in a gallery.
It became an outlet for all of us to give back and put it all together into one vehicle.
The only thing worse than being a hypocrite is doing absolutely nothing.
A full year of waste.
Indigenous youth need to know that there's opportunities out there.
If no matter what it is that you're into is only representative of one kind of person, and I think that what you have to offer is boring.
We're all connected. We're not as dissimilar as people think.
I've been living out of Costa Rica but traveling to the snow this last season. We produced this movie called Perspective. I got to link up with Madison Ellsworth in Washington. This movie was co-produced by me and Calvin, a guy from Seattle who we've been doing a few movies the last couple of years together. We also had the pleasure to ride Copper Mountain, Woodward Copper with Richie Colasanti, Colin Spencer, Kenny, and Christian from Steamboat. That was amazing. That was a good day. My first day back on snow.
Yeah, boys. Cheers, brother.
On top of this global team, we also have a bunch of very amazing ambassadors like Brett Teepee, Todd Richards, Justin Milford, just to name a few. We're very honored to have all those guys, and thank you so much for everyone. All of the support that you give to your local team riders, that means a lot to them, that means a lot to us. That's how we grow the brand and the message. You guys all picked the right ones, so thank you. And we'll gladly include them in our social media posts if you can send us or have them put them in contact with me as you have been doing. So thank you for that. Roman DeMarchi, one of Yes Snowboard's father and owner, is being recognized this year as a legendary snowboarder. The legendary snowboarder that he is. First of all, Pleasure magazine granted him the cover of the latest issue, which was a guest editor from Patrick M. Brewster, aka Brewsty, from Absent Film. Secondly, Absent Films, Justin Ostanek and David Vladica are working on producing a piece of micro-dosing on Roman DeMarchi. So Roman's story will be told and it will be played on Samsung TV, Absent TV, all sorts of coverage. So another aspect of our marketing efforts, going to keep going with working with Fastgate to directly impact the e-commerce sales through advertising on the internet. So we're going to keep going and working with this, Josh Office on that. We are also getting involved with Slush magazine. We are delivering them 4 ads for all 4 of their first issues. We're really supporting Pat Bridges and Scott Needing in their new project. You know, Pat Bridges has been responsible for so many people's career and you know, just very, very loyal snowboarding media in general. So we're very happy to be involved with that one. White Line magazine has been taking a few of our boards into the top 100 this year. Very thankful for that. Yeah, so we also are We're just going to be keeping running the Instagram program into Facebook as well. We're probably going to, kind of post footage as we get it from the team, and keep everybody updated on artists, team, maybe filmmaker that we work with, photographer we work with. We're probably going to try to use those all the features on the social media platforms coming up in marketing this year. Yeah. Let's talk about the partnerships that we have going on for the coming season. We're going to keep going with the same partnership style with Eagle Pass Eddy Boarding, where we have a full quiver of paddleboard available for the client and for anybody who goes there, including you. If you want to go, you also get the Yes discount. So just mention it to the team, Scott Newsom and his team there at Eagle Pass, and they can book you for a trip. It's absolutely worth it if you ever get the chance. And then if you ever need to see some footage from it, you can see it in Oman. Roman DeMarchi and Dustin Craven has a very wicked section in that terrain in the newest flick. Another partnership that we're going to keep going this year is one with Boarding for Breast Cancer, which we have actually auctioned in collaboration with Eagle Pass, 2 seats of Eddy Boarding or Eddy Skiing in their terrain in December. So that's coming up very soon here. The money that was raised at that online auction is going directly to the survivorship funds, which will take ladies in treatment or recovering from treatment back in the mountains. Another partnership that we have going on is with the foundation from New York City, Hoods to Woods. We essentially will get involved with their fundraiser, the annual fundraiser again, probably with a couple boards this time around, so that they can auction that and make money and have funds to take the kids from the inner city on the bus to the mountain, provide them with gear and lessons, lift tickets, and provide them with the experience of being snowboarding and being able to overcome fear or learn and push themselves and just be in nature outside of the city. We have a new partnership this year that, thank you to Jerome for helping with this connection. We're going to be partnering with Red Mountain out of Rossland Beach, British Columbia. Red Mountain, as well as Big Red Cat, which is their cat operation connected to the ski resort. We are providing them with boards, so they will also have a demo fleet and a quiver for the cat boarding, POW specific and maybe more resort specific at Red. We have deals to take your retailers. If you ever want to visit for yourself, you can go there and you'll get discount on lift tickets and discount on the cat days. So that's awesome. Talk to us if you ever want to do that. You'll get more information soon as well on that. So this year, more effort for marketing will be put towards social media marketing. We'll try to use as many features as we can of the Instagram, Facebook, and so on. We're going to keep doing customer service to the people asking questions, getting them pointed out to the right direction. And also probably we'll get involved a little bit more with TikTok. We are still planning exactly the move here, but it seems like to be a platform that people use. As well as we are planning a full campaign for ads online. So targeted ads through Fastgate to directly impact the sales of e-commerce. We also have a very good window display. Thank you to the designer team and David Pitchy for creating all that. This has been placed around the world in the retailers in your regions. We're very thankful for them, and thank you for you as well for pushing those on them. We really appreciate it.
JP is now going to talk to you guys about all of the assets that we built throughout the year for you guys to have at your fingertips to be able to do promotions on social, online, on print media and everything, going from the windows all the way to the Instagram posts. We build everything and it's always a work in progress. So if there's anything you guys need, we're here to listen to and to provide it to you. But JP is going to bring you through all of those right now.
Okay, so assets that are going to be available to you guys on Bynder. like window programs, social assets, product photos, promotion calendar, and ad planning for that matter. Yes, like I said, will all be available for you guys on Bynder. So check into that and get what you need.
We know that it's been a really tough year for a lot of us through the pandemic, through the supply chain, there's been challenges that we've never seen before and that have been a hurdle for a lot. And all of us have worked really hard to get to where we are today. Romain is going to speak to you a little bit more about how we're doing globally. Some countries are struggling more than others, but in the whole, we're doing pretty good. Take it away, Romain.
Hi guys! This is the sales season. It's been really great so far from last year, but kind of undermined by the COVID. We did a really good score. Everybody worked hard and we got some positive numbers, but oh fuck, man, I don't know what to say anymore. Like, Peachy, our brand manager, just put me in front of that camera to just try to hype you guys. But you know what? Yes, it's a positive message. It's a positive brand. We're here to convey positive movement, and our graphic is off the chart for next year. So just stand behind me and I will stand in front of you guys, and I will ensure that it's gonna be a great year for sales. I love you guys. Thanks for all your effort, and I can't wait to see you guys in person in the next future.
So this is it. Thank you for watching all those boards. We're really proud of what we've been able to bring to the market. All of the artists like Guillaume, Fernando, Kalonji, Mark Kowalchuk, we've been really happy to work with them. They've given a piece of themselves on those boards. Romain, DCP and JP too have worked really hard on getting the new shapes, the new boards into the market. Now we really rely on you guys to share the love and bring those boards into the shops so that kids can get on them, because ultimately that's what we want. We want the kids to ride those boards, to share the stoke and to be happy on a snowboard, and to bring back those feelings that are unique to us, that when you're riding in the powder with your friends and you take a left turn around a tree and you end up in this like pristine powder field, that all comes together because of all of the work that Romain, DCP, JP and everyone has done, and that you guys are doing, and that gets to the ultimate, that one powder turn and that makes a memory forever. So thank you guys for all the work you do. We wouldn't be there without you, and it's really an honor and a pleasure to be working with you and the owners of Yes. Thanks. Now go and drink beer or something.
Hi everyone, I really hope you enjoyed the line and the presentation. Thank you for attending the virtual sales meeting 2022-2023. We're very stoked on this line ourselves. I think all the artists did such a great job this year coming together, and I'm very proud that we got to show you that. So I would also like to say thank you guys so much for the support. It really means a lot, and let's see each other in the mountains soon, I hope.